There is an opinion that the fashion world creates materialism, where the desire for luxury sometimes changes from quality to quantity. As it turned out, shopaholics are a long outdated concept. Today we have sustainable fashion, a conscious approach to the wardrobe. With this strategy, the brand discloses information on the manufacturing conditions of the items sold, and the buyer takes a balanced approach to purchasing new items.
The sustainability is super luxury rich collection or capsule collection, so I cannot spend money for that. Or in opposite side is super cheaper or super ethnic. The first one, the queen, it has been Stella Mccartney. Stella Mccartney started many years ago exactly with this identity, and she started when the other brands looked at like, oh, this is a trend or is hippie. But now she is important. She's now is an example for the new generation.
Giovanni Ottonello is an architect by trade. Over the years, his love of art has changed into fascination with fashion. According to him, it is possible to be a pro in this field only if you devote all your free time to this industry.
I studied a lot alone. I was born in Genoa. Twice a year I moved from Genoa to Milan to see the fashion show. I speak about from 87 to 1940, 45, 44 was exactly the biggest moment for the fashion in the world, and I was completely astonished in front of them. So I arrived to collaborate with many brands, especially in the luxury. 14 years ago I met ID, and I started to collaborate with this important school, and in that moment I decided, or I comprehend, that it was more interesting to teach. This one for me, for years, it has been an incredible, proud and honor to help. And now I have a lot of sons that sometimes they write me, they wanted to have a discussion, or they have a lot of questions about this. I have a family around of designer in general.
The fashion industry today is the second in terms of the level of pollution produced, after the oil industry. Production of fashionable clothing consumes more than 130 million tons of coal and about 7 trillion litres of water each year. The manufacture of a pair of jeans alone requires about 7,000 litres of water, and a t-shirt about 2,000 litres. In Ukraine, textiles amount for approximately 7% of household waste, which is also a significant figure.
Necessity, the real necessity. For example, we live now in a period where the Black Friday is a sort of crazy day where the people spend a lot of money without a real necessity, but the communication told you that you need because you save money, but you don't save money because you spend a lot of money for something, for a product that really you don't have. Now we have Black Friday, Black Weekend, Tuesday, Black Tuesday, Black Week, Black Month, because the problem is exactly like this. We live in a world full of brands, full of everything. Have you an idea how many cars produce or how many black t-shirts produced in the world? We don't need so much.
An important factor in conscientious fashion is the use of eco-materials and recycling for the manufacture of new items. Remanufactured packaging, scraps of cardigans or buttons of metal cans is a new world trend of the 21st century. This idea was even reflected in the EU Clothing Action Plan programme, which promotes the beneficial concept of recycling.
It's banal, but when you make a shower or to decide to wash your teeth, how many liters you use? Or do you need really 25 or 250 t-shirts? It's very important to stop for a few seconds and I need really this coat, or this one is exactly the coat that can I have or may I have? Responsibility. In the simple way, and the simple life. Sometimes I'm eco-friendly and blah, blah, blah. But what do you really do in your life? For example, the garbage. You divided your garbage. Do you divide your garbage to separate plastic and, I don't know, paper? No.
Ukrainian designers are not far behind the global trends. They offer stylish swimwear made of plastic. Others use bamboo and other eco-materials. Individual tailoring, capsule wardrobe and recycling of textiles are all the tools used in the everyday life of the Ukrainian fashion industry. In 2017, with the support of the UN in Ukraine, a collection made only from recyclable materials was first presented on the domestic catwalks in Ukraine.
We have, unfortunately, only 30 years to save the planet. 30 years is tomorrow. 30 years is that if I have a son, my son arrived in 2050. Arrived with a lot of problem of pollution, dust, hair and other problems. Of course, the fashion industry is a big machine, not only in relationship with fabric. It's a big machine because behind the fashion system we have an industry that use many levels of the pollution.
In addition to the careful use of natural resources, conscientious fashion entails a respectful attitude towards human labour. If earlier the fashion houses did not give information about fabric suppliers or working conditions in factories, today it also forms a part of the history of one or another piece of clothing. So the manufacturer takes responsibility for every stage of the life cycle of a dress or a t-shirt, from the beginning of production to the end of the life cycle.
Information and communication. Information the customer, the clients, help them to help these customers to have a right approach in relationship with the collection. To know the trip behind this jacket or behind the bag that you have. There is a long trip and I have to know because I spend money. And if I spend money, I want to know why I spent a lot of money or a few money, depends, it's the same. With the ID, we have done 5 capsule collection with Detox in collaboration with Greenpeace to create a sustainability collection with an incredible quality. Another important thing is the coherence with your brand. Now we have a lot of brands that every 6 months change completely, not only the designer, but change completely the word, you know. They pass from the flowers to the minimal, super black, from, I don't know, vintage, or this one is impossible because the coherence is the future.
Truly fashionable items are timeless, the Italian fashion expert claims. Conscientious fashion condemns closets full of many things. Instead, the hashtag 30wears is in fashion. This flash mob stimulates the purchase of only the necessary clothing that could be worn at least 30 times. Another hashtag, Who Made My Clothes, is designed to fight against inhumane working conditions when a brand name piece of clothing is sewn for a salary that is much lower than the cost of living.
Fashion business is second polluting industry on earth. We had to educate consumer because consumer doesn't know anything about sustainability. So designers should start express how sustainable they are, how important sustainability is.
Concern for the future of the planet with the help of fashion was also reflected in the International Young Designers Contest, one of the largest international fashion events in Central Europe. The final of the competition was held in Kyiv and gathered young creators from 10 countries: Georgia, Estonia, Latvia, Moldova, Poland, Romania, Slovakia, Hungary, the Czech Republic and Ukraine. The winner was a participant from Ukraine, Anastasia Padalka.
This year was interesting because the finalists many of them are working on sustainability. You know, I always love Ukraine, so yeah, I'm so happy that the Ukrainian designer to try to take a part. Ukraine is really interesting because there are like a few different types of designers, like not only like crazy, like creative ones, but also there is advanced contemporary type of designer, which is attract many consumers. This must be like 6th or 7th visit. Yeah, I visited like Ukraine quite a few times. Why? Because I like chicken Kiev. It's not a joke. I'm obsessed with chicken Kiev. I love Ukrainian food, and everybody knows it. Like the Ukrainian Fashion Week organizer is like, oh, tomorrow we're going to eat chicken Kiev. I was like, yes.
In 2018, exports of the Ukrainian light industry increased by 13%. That is, Ukraine sold clothing worth about $1 billion. Today, brands of 40 Ukrainian designers are sold around the world. The development and use of social networks as a platform for sales allows even novice designers to show what they are capable of and at the same time find consumers abroad who are willing to buy.
Instagram became really interesting position now because it's not only the communication tool or PR tool, also you can sell stuff through Instagram. It's not just a communication tool, you can actually make a business there.
I think that now it's not correct to speak about Ukrainian designer, Bulgarian designer or Japanese designer. It's very important to have a global vision. The opportunity, not the border. It's very important that they have exactly clear the idea of the target. Who is the customer now in Ukrainian or in all over the world? How can I sell my collection? Now is not only important the collection, now is important the communication of collection, the story behind. And this one is important, to open the border, to see what happens abroad.
Self-expression and creativity goes hand in hand with an environmental and transparent approach. Clothing and even furniture made from recycled materials are gaining popularity around the world because they allow you to take care of the future of the planet.
The sensation is not to shock, but to say the real thing, the pure thing. The best emotion is the pure emotion. This one, I'm exactly like this, and this one is my collection, this one is my inspiration, this one is my journey, this one is my fabric, in a clear way. This one is the best approach. Not to shock or super wow effect. This one is not important. We have seen many wow effects without story. For example, now we live a period where the sportswear and the streetwear is the topic. It's unbelievable to see the luxury brand that they sell shoes, sneakers. They wanted to find a new target. Now the only moment is the sportswear, streetwear, comfortable. Now the mix is exactly like this: to wear something comfortable and to wear something that creates me a story and identity.
Today, fashionable clothing suggests that the rejection of another t-shirt is primarily a peaceful protest against the work of 12-year-old girls in Bangladesh or Cambodia. Instead of chasing fast trends, it's better to give a second life to grandma's dress. The main message of conscious fashion is a thoughtful and practical approach to resources and respect for human labour.